Hey and welcome to the first episode of Spike Seconds, where I, MikeSpike, review something in 60 seconds so I don't waste much of your time. Anyway, let's get right into it with Marvel's Spider-Man for PS4. The game is really good, definitely in my top 5, right behind Super Mario Odyssey. And let's talk about why. The story, best incarnation of Spider-Man, really made me feel something. The characters were all perfectly written out. The combat is super satisfying, right up there with Arkham. I think, in fact, it's even better than Arkham. The web slinging feels fantastic. I never used fast travel my entire playthrough because web slinging through the city just felt so good and felt so right. My reason for this and Super Mario Odyssey being my top 2 favorite games is because they nailed the basic movement. The basic movement in the game is more fun than some other games that I've played in their entirety. The movement is the best part about this game. I rank it 5 stars out of 5, and I think you should definitely go buy it. Anyway, thank you all for watching this first episode of Spike Seconds. If you liked it, make sure to hit subscribe and hit notifications, and I will see you all in the next one. Thank you and goodbye. Hey guys, and welcome to Spike Seconds, a show where me, MikeSpike, tells you about movies and games for 60 seconds so I don't waste your time. Anyway, let's get right into it with Spider-Man Far From Home by Marvel Studios. So let me start off by saying Spider-Man Far From Home is my second favorite Spider-Man movie behind Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and I definitely think it's better than Homecoming. John Watts definitely learned a thing or two after his first Spider-Man outing, and it definitely shows in this one. He somehow managed to nail the high school setting even more and actually put some stakes in this movie, which made me feel and care more about the characters. Speaking of characters, Tom Holland is still a standout Peter Parker. I love MJ in this movie, and Ned is still one of my favorite comic relief characters of all time. Speaking of characters, Jake Gyllenhaal absolutely nails Mysterio in this movie and is definitely one of my top 3 favorite Marvel villains of all time. I wish there was a little bit more development between him and Peter, but the movie does a fine job as is. The comedy hits home, the CGI is some of the best Marvel CGI I've seen in any of their movies, and the end credit scene is spectacular. So overall, fantastic Spider-Man movie, a fantastic superhero movie, a great addition to Marvel's library, and it's a nice palate cleanser after Endgame. Also, J. Jonah Jameson is the best. Hey guys, welcome back to Spike Seconds, show where I, MikeSpike, tell you about movies and games in 60 seconds so I don't waste any of your time. Anyway, let's get right into it with Smash Bros. Ultimate for the Nintendo Switch. First off, Smash Bros. Has always been a big crossover series, but this game took it out of proportion. There are over 70 characters in this game with 5 more on the way for DLC. It's truly insane how much content this game has. There are so many good characters, the balance is fantastic, the mechanics are solid, a perfect mix between Smash 4 and Melee in my opinion. The UI is much improved over Smash for Wii U. Portability is huge. It makes it super convenient to play the game. It is by far my favorite Switch game of all time. I'll say that straight up. Online is pretty. It's okay. It's not that great, but it does the job. Smash 4 had better online, but the online here is good too. Spirits mode, the World of Light single player is kind of boring, but it's better than freaking Smash Tour or whatever we got. Anyway, so Smash Ultimate is definitely my favorite Smash game, and I give it 6 out of 5 stars. Thank you. Have a good day. Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Spike Seconds, the show where I, MikeSpike, tell you about games and movies in 60 seconds so I don't waste any of your time. Anyway, let's get right into it with League of Legends. League of Legends is a strategy MOBA game that's been out for about 10 years now and has been the premier esports game ever since its inception. And a lot of people have had a few choice words to say about it in modern times, but to be honest, I think it's still a very decent game. One of the main sticking points of League of Legends has been the community, which has been called out as one of the most toxic communities for any game ever. And to be entirely honest, I think Rainbow Six Siege is worse. In my experience, League of Legends' community hasn't even been that bad. They've been pretty nice and helpful to me as a beginner, and honestly, it doesn't deserve the bad rap it gets. One thing about this game that most people should know going into is that this game heavily depends on how good your teammates are. If your teammates are good, then you will have a great time, but if your teammates are not so good, you will not have a great time at all. This is one of the games that is most dependent on teammates that I've ever seen. Balance across all the characters is also pretty wonky. Overall score in esports out of 10. Hey guys, and welcome to Spike Seconds, the show where I, MikeSpike, review things in 60 seconds so I don't waste any of your time. Anyway, let's get right into it with Team Fortress 2 for the PC. TF2 was released all the way back in 2007, and honestly, it's still quite alive with over 50k people playing it every single day. I've personally been playing for 3 years now, and quite honestly, it's my favorite FPS that I've ever played. Believe it or not, TF2 was the game that actually inspired me to start my YouTube channel. The first 2 years of my channel were basically TF2 streams and videos, which is a neat little fun fact, but anyway, actually talking about the game. My favorite part about TF2 is that it looks like a very easy to pick up game, but in reality there's a very high skill ceiling and only a few amount of players actually ever reach it. Mechanics like rocket jumping only add to the depth of the game. Your loadout possibilities could be endless as well. There's an insane amount of weapons in this game. And with all these weapons, the game is still relatively balanced after all this time. Overall, TF2 is my favorite FPS game that I've ever played, and also one of my favorite PC games I've ever played. It's also the first Steam game I ever owned. That's why I'm giving this game a TF2 out of 5 stars.